Ba-dum bum 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 bum. Ba-dum bum 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 bum. Ba-dum bum 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 bum. I will take out the chat so I can see the chat when I look down. Ba-dum 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 bum. Okay, so in this video, this stream, I will be creating something that that's well, you'll just see. You'll just see what it is. So first, let me search for this landscape object, and let me zoom in on this, and I will turn on the render. And let's look at this, what it is. This is a landscape object, okay? Now, if I click this button here, this will change it so that the borders, well, I'm not really sure what this does change, but I'm looking exactly for this one. Actually, maybe I can even invert this. Let me try to invert this. How does this look? Does this look okay? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna move off of my plan here. So if I deselect this and drag this size down, you can see that it becomes more like a plane or a field or something like that, which is exactly what I want. Next, I will create an area light, redshift area light. I will go in the top view and drag this around and move it to the side like this. Now I will create a redshift environment. No, red environment. Yeah, I will change this tint to something like this. And I will go in this area light, and if you want the fog to appear, in this case, you have to go in the area light and change this volume contribution scale to 0.004. So I will be responding to the questions only in English. So the program is Cinema 4D. Cinema 4D. Now, as you can see, there is something, this looks like, well, whatever. This looks like whatever. Whatever you see here is what it looks like. So now, the next thing I want to do is, I think I want to create a plane, and I will change this to 1144, and I will move this up. And as you can see, there's a tiny little plane here. I will press C to make this editable, and if I go in this polygon mode and select this polygon here, I want to create an animation where this kind of grows up, okay? And for me to be able to do that, I need to, well, first of all, if you want to create animations with something like this, well, let me just go in here and change this render passes so it's higher quality. If you want to create animations with geometry, like points, you have to enable this point level animation. And now, if I move this here, and if I create a keyframe on frame 0, and then if I create a keyframe on frame 45, no, I'm not going to create just now because I have to make the change. And the change will be, I will search for matrix extrude. I think, yeah, these names of these tools are really fun. Now, what this does is, well, I'll click apply here, And as you can see, this shoots out like this, and that's too much for me. I'm gonna change this to, let's say, something like this, and this rotation, I don't think I need any of this rotation. I'll press 0, and scale I will set it 97, 97, and 97, 97%. And actually I'm gonna make this even smaller, and I'm gonna increase the steps here, which are these kind of, it controls the points, not points, but these segments. And now if I think I will drag this. Yeah, this will be enough. Okay, so now I have to click this record, and if I go back to frame 0, as you can see, there is this animation going on. Okay, that's good. That's the first part of this is done. Now, what I like to do usually when I start scenes is I like to create camera, and I like to already change the focal length so that it, you know, just so I can see what this will look like when I'm, so that the camera is already like in the same, so that the camera focal length is the same as I'm gonna be, just because I know that I'm gonna do this later on, so it's just as good to just do it right now, so I can already see all the like deformations of the camera lens. They are the same for me. I think you know what I'm saying. So okay, the next part will be, I will simply search for this subdivision surface, and I will hold down Alt and click Enter, and as you can see, this became like smoother, and this is exactly what I want, because I really need this to be a bit smoother. And now I can drag this down so that it looks like it grows from this from the ground. Okay, now yeah, this grows from the ground, and yeah, and I want there to be a something like this. I want it to grow in something like a shape like this. And how can you do that? Well, it's actually very simple. I can search for bulge deformer, hold down Shift, press Enter. It's going to become a child of this plane, and now I can increase the strength here, and I can drag the size down, and I can move this bulge deformer up, and as you can see, now it's it has created a shape like this. So next, what I want to do is I want to look at the animation, and this animation is okay, but it can be made much better if you create a jiggle deformer and you hold down Shift and Enter, and you drag this jiggle deformer. I think it should be after the bulge deformer. Yeah, this is too much, I think a bit too much, but this gives a little bounce to the animation, and it's you know, it looks a bit funnier if you do that. Well, it doesn't look funnier in this case. It looks funnier, but no animations in real life, animations do not ever like stop like this, like abruptly, like bam. Like they do not do that. So there's always some jiggle or some like smoothing out of the animation, and it slows down and starts and slows down. So yeah, this this looks good. Now I will move this landscape front a bit, because I know that I'm not going to be looking in this direction. I'm going to be looking in this direction with the camera. So it's better to have the landscape like this, okay? Because I want to have some hills over there. Actually, let me try to change this a bit so that it looks a bit more interesting. Yeah. Now you can place this bulge deformer here in this focus object and click on this one, change this to focus distance, and as you can see there's some depth of field going on, and this is just gonna make look the render, you know, it actually makes it look like it's a microscopic world a bit, right? Okay, so the animation of this this thing is the main animation is done right now, and what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna create a material and I'm gonna apply it to the floor here. Let me try to move this a bit to the side. Yeah, this is okay. Now, yeah, this material, I will go in here and I will add a Maxon noise. This is the node editor, material node editor. People have asked me why does this look different from the Redshift one? Because this is the Cinema 4D node editor, and the Redshift node editor is a bit different, and I'm not really sure if there are any like meaningful is this, yeah, this is the Redshift node editor. I don't know if there are really meaningful changes to them, but you know, I like using this one. Okay, so this Maxon noise, if you click this S here, you will see this noise on the ground, and that's what I want. I want to see it. I will change this to Nucky, just because this looks like organic. This looks more like an organic material. And now I will change the color of this to, let me change this to pink. Okay, now let me look at the ground here. I don't think I can see, maybe because this is too much, maybe because it's not enough. Oh, it's because it's not connected. Yeah, you have to connect it to the color channel here. Now, as you can see, this looks a bit like organic, kind of organic material, like skin. Not skin really, but maybe inside of somewhere, inside of a human body or some other, like microscopic world. Okay, so now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create some displacement here. You can copy this node and you can change this back to black, and you can actually, I'm a little bothered by this light, so I'm gonna move this to the side more. Yeah, this looks better. Now you can search for this displacement node. You can connect this to texture map. So there's a question, how to learn node editor. Well, this is actually a good way to learn it. You know, just look at what I'm doing. It's pretty simple. You create a new material and you start connecting these nodes. Well, one thing you can kind of I can tell you if you're just starting out is that this node editor, in this case, this material is applied to the landscape. So this means that this one, this is it's connected to the surface. This material, the surface is the output of this. So this basically means that everything needs to be connected to the surface. If it's not, then it's gonna display red. So this one is connected to the surface. And now this noise, which if you click this solo button here, you can see exactly what this is. It's the same. If you click the solo here, it's the same as if you were to connect it to the surface. Okay, so now this one, this noise, for example, you can connect it to the color channel, and this is going to have the material properties like, for example, this reflection here, but it's going to have this color is going to be from this noise, if that makes sense. And for example, if you want to create displacement, which is going to make this, well, let me just show you. I'll connect this to here. And now displacement works in Redshift only if you add a Redshift object tag to the landscape. And you have to go in this geometry tab. You have to click override and enable this displacement. As you can see, there's this displacement here. And this is too much, I think. So I will turn this down to something like this. And yeah, as you can see, this works. Now, this will do for now, for me. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create another material, and I'm going to apply this to the subdivision surface, which is this thing right here. And I'm going to do a very, actually no, I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to delete this one, and I'm going to duplicate it and drag it on this thing here. And for this one, I will actually, you can, in the same way, you can edit these nodes. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the scale of this so that it's smaller. And as you can see here, well, you can see that it's changing there. So now this looks like, I don't know what this looks like. You can just write in the comments what this is. Is this art? Well, maybe it is. You can just, if this is art, you just write in the comments, and I will consider it art. Okay. Okay, now the same thing I will do for this displacement here. Because, yeah, well, I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to change this to black because I think displacement only takes in black and white. And the kitten says hi. Hi. Yeah, connect this one to this one. And again, you need to have the same Redshift object tag here for the displacement to work. And as you can see here, it's working. Okay. And again, I think I will change this to something smaller, so that maybe even go negative. Negative means that it goes down into this geometry, and not like up. Okay. Okay, now this looks good. What can I do to make this look even better? Well, better is really not just to make it look more interesting, okay? What I can do is I can click on this material again, and I can search for transmission. I can turn on transmission, and as you can see, this becomes transparent now. But it looks like there's no subdivision surface, like subdivision transmission going on. So I will turn this back down, and I will change this scatter scale here, which is, this is basically controlling the how well, it's controlling how the light is going. Well, how thick is the object or material? I don't know the right words for this, but as you can see, if I drag it all the way, it's going to be darker. And if I drag it only somewhere here, not somewhere here, but 0.1, for example, the light is gonna come through it. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna create an area light. I'm gonna put this light behind this object here. Yeah. Please make a full tutorial on that node because many people don't know how to use. Okay, I will think about it. Okay, but you know, for me I can only show you some basic things about the node editor because I don't really have an like a great understanding of how it works. I just know the basic things like what I explained earlier. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion. Okay, now this light is now you can see that if it's shining through. Let me change this to maybe something warmer like this. Okay. Now if I go back to this material and change this scatter scale, as you can see, if I drag it, if I increase this, this is going to become more solid, is the right word. So I think I'm going to leave this at 0.5 so that when there's this geometry is thinner, the light is coming through, and where there's the geometry is thicker, the light is not coming through. Exactly how it really functions in real life. So that's good. So that's good. That's what I want in this case. I want this to look like real life. Okay. Now let me check this animation again. Unfortunately, I can't render this out because it's really important to see how animation looks in the render view, but you know, my computer is not as good and to do that. So I will have to look at the animation in this screen right here. Okay, so next thing I'm going to show you is a very interesting thing I discovered, that you can, for example, if I want this geometry to have something inside of it, I can duplicate this. Well, let me just show you what I mean. I can duplicate this and I can create a plane deformer. Hold on Shift, double click this, and I think I need to move this here. Yeah. And if you change this deformer to point, and in this effector, there's something crazy going on, but that's because it works different a bit. Well, yeah, it's you can like decrease this Z position here, and as you can see, if I press N and G, you can see that what happens. Okay, it kind of forces all of the points of this geometry inside, and if you click this one, it forces all of the points, not forces, but moves all of the points up. But this Z is going to be the direction of the normals of this geometry. So this means that if you want to make something smaller, you decrease this, and if you want to make something bigger, you increase this. And this is not scaling, because if you scale something, it's going to scale, it's just going to scale. But this one is kind of moving all of the geometry inside. So now, as you can see here, now it looks like it has something inside of it. And usually, like biological things like cells or something, they have things inside. They have like organs or whatever. So this is the thing I'm trying to recreate here. Now, and if you change the scatter scale again to something lower, you can see that okay, what is going on here? What is going on? Let me just try to understand. What am I doing? Well, yeah, you can see that if you change this this phase, actually, I don't know exactly how this works, but I usually change this phase only if I want to make something more like jelly, or, well, you can see the difference here. The light kind of comes through and it looks more like jelly. I'll just leave it at this point. So what I can do also is change the material of this inside to a new material, and I'm going to change this to black. Actually, this doesn't do anything, so yeah, whatever. I can leave the same material on the inside. Okay, now this animation is, now this scene is, yeah, I showed you this one, I showed you how to create the inside part of this, and now what I'm gonna do is, let me turn this back up. Yeah. Now if you zoom in, yeah, this looks okay. Now I want to make this even more interesting, and how can I do that? Well, I have one more idea on what I can do here. Let me just try to change this light, move it around and see if it works better. If it's maybe it's over here, maybe it looks better over here. Yeah, no, I'm gonna move it back to where it was before. Okay, now and of course this works with the animation as well, this inside part. I'm not sure what is going on here exactly, but I do believe that when you will render the animation, it's gonna work fine. There's just some small glitches going on. I'm not sure if it is because of the plane effector or what. Yeah, it's probably because of that. So I will ignore it for now. So now you can select this subdivision surface, and if I were to add hair to this, what I can't really do that, because if I want to add hair only to this part, I can't do that because it's subdivision surface here. And what you can do is you can add this, search for this correction deformer, hold down Shift, Enter, and now you should be, if you go in this polygon mode, you should be able to select this, and I think you can, okay, yeah, you can go and find add hair. It's that simple, and this is too much now, as you can see. I will change this to 50, and I will change the guides to length to, let's say, 3. Okay, and now this is too much. This does not look like hair. So let me change the thickness to 0.1, and you have to, for Redshift, for some reason you have to refresh the window to see the results. Okay, this is better, but the tip needs to be even smaller. Okay, now this is good. Is this art? Yeah, this is actually Proton's world. Yeah, this is small world, and yeah, this is actually a small world. Not as small as Proton's, I think. It's only like micro centimeters, not, or millicentimeters. Yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna change the color of this. No, I'm gonna disable this one, this specular here, and I'm gonna look at what exactly is going on. Let me disable this, and let me increase the size. Actually, I'm gonna go in this hair dynamics. I'm gonna select this force and click and write -1. Okay. And now if I play the animation, this is gonna fall down. Yeah, there's some craziness going on here. I'm not entirely sure. Why is this? Why is this? I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna try to yeah, this hair, sometimes in Cinema 4D the hair is not behaving as you want it to behave. So I'm gonna just add it one more time. Add hair, change the length to 3 and dynamics to, well, maybe I'm just gonna disable the dynamics for now, because I'm afraid this is gonna happen again. So now if you change the amount of hairs to 50, yeah, it's the same as before. Now I can drag the same material here as I already created, And as you can see, there's hair, but it's too small, right? It's too small. So I'm going to change this back to, let's say, 3. Okay, this is better. Yeah, this is okay. So is this art? I don't know. You tell me. Hello, Francis. Francis. Oh, I'm gonna be really terrible at saying the names, so I'm not gonna try even. Francis. What tutorial is this about? Well, you can see on your screen what this is about. You can see it on your screen. So that's all I'm gonna say on this matter. Well, okay, in technical terms, this is about subdivision surface and noises and creating worlds that look smaller than like microscopic worlds. So yeah, if you have any questions, please ask them, or I'm gonna try to answer them. Now, if you add this frizz or kink and click refresh, you can see that this hair here has become well, you can see what has become. It's frizz and kink. That's probably the properties of these hairs here. So yeah, I think that this is okay. I will enable the specular back on. Yeah. So this is very good. Okay. Is this art? I don't know. Maybe, but we can try to make this more interesting if we actually, this hair is again, it's behaving really, it's doing some weird things, and I think it's because, let me try to fix this. You should always prepare for stuff like this before live streams, because if this happens, then it's gonna destroy all of this of your idea about Cinema 4D, because of something like this. This hair is again, and the reason the reason for this is quite simply because usually when you create planes and you add hair to them and they are not animated, it's fine. But in this case, it's quite interesting that, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this material, delete this one, delete the hair again. Let's try for the 3rd time. Okay. For the 3rd time, yes, I'm gonna try it one more time, please. Correction deformer. I'm gonna select only this top part here, and now I'm gonna add hair, and I'm gonna change this to 35, okay, and this to, let's say, 4, and this again to 3, and now I'm gonna drag this material here. And as you can see, there's this small amount of hair here, but if I play the animation, I really hope it's not gonna be like completely fucked up. Yeah, you have to let me add this collision hair collider. Yeah, and now this hair, let me disable this one. Well, this actually looks interesting because it looks like there are kind of these trees growing right, on it. And when the final render is gonna render out, it's gonna look okay, but now you have to, each time you want to see the hair, you have to refresh this, right? And yeah, you have to refresh the window, so you can't see really the animation. Draw Hesburger soy tortilla. It's really good. Yesterday tasted the first time. Oh, who else has tasted the Hesburger soy tortilla? It's really good. It's really good. I can't draw that, you know. It's almost impossible to do that for me right now. So that's why I'm not going to do this. Now, is this art? Because I actually don't know. Well, I quite liked it how it looked when it was somewhere here. So, yeah, this is what is going on. Yeah, this tutorial is actually has devolved in me not understanding what's going on here. So let me just, well, these problems with the hair are quite unusual, but you know, when there are problems with hair, you can usually create something more interesting than that, than the thing you wanted to create the first time. So yeah, you can also not add hair if it's too much. I will figure this out probably later, and for now I can just leave this as this is. Okay, so I will leave this hair out for now, and I'm just gonna create another one of this subdivision surface. Let me group this and name this number one, and I'm gonna create more of these over here maybe, and over here maybe. Yeah. And this one is gonna be over here. And now if you play the animation, you will see that they grow. Actually, what's going on with this? Not entirely sure. Oh yeah, this is just because the animation was on the other side, really. Let me just delete these ones and create one more again. And yeah. Okay, so this is because of the jiggle deformer. I will disable this bitch because it's causing too much trouble. Yeah. And again, it's over here. And maybe it was causing trouble for the hair too. I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Let me try to enable the dynamics again. Maybe it's gonna be, maybe it's gonna look okay. No? the hair is falling through. And this hair collider is not really working here. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it isn't. So da 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 da. Yeah, not gonna do the dynamics because the dynamics are, it's gonna be too hard. So let me do another selection here of the whole head of this thing, and there was selection, store selection it was called, yeah, store selection. And now you can disable this hair and add hair again. Change this to 50, change this to 3, dynamics will be off, and I will add this hair material. And now if I look at the animation while it's growing, well, it's fucked up. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at the top, only at the top, because it turns out that when it's I think the reason for this might be that on the first frame there's only this part of this geometry, and I think you need to have, there's only like this small, not small, but let me try to show you where it is. Yeah, there's this geometry here, and on the next frames it becomes highly more complex, and the hair probably doesn't know what to do. So maybe, yeah, next time I'll just try to add the hair to, interesting. Maybe I can, on the frame 0, I will change the length of this to 0, and now on frame 1 it's going to be 100. Maybe now it's going to work. So no, it's probably not going to work, because it's probably not going to work because now it's even worse than before. Well, yeah, I'm gonna give up on this hair for now, because it seems like it's too hard to understand how this works. I'm gonna figure this out and create a tutorial later on exactly the steps you need to follow, because the idea was that the hair is gonna kind of grow with this object here, and it's gonna, you know, move around with this object together. So now I'm gonna disable this, and I will enable this correction. I will enable this jiggle deformer here. Yeah. So now the last part I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create snow XP system. And actually, if you have X particles, you can quickly create some snow. Okay. Well, sometimes Cinema 4D crashes. So, and since I didn't save this, I'm just gonna show you the project file I did before. The project file I had before. And I'm going to show you the snow in this one. You know, sometimes crashes happen. Sometimes crashes happen, bitch. Okay, this one is the one I was doing before. So in this one, the hair was looking a bit better than the one I did right now. Okay. Well, yeah, if you create some snow like this, it kind of looks like, I don't know, like dust particles or something like that. And especially if you disable the gravity, I think I did, yeah, I disabled the gravity, and those these particles are just like floating around, and yeah, it doesn't look like snow. It's just called snow because of the X particles system. Well, they just created these previews, and they're called snow. So yeah, you can use them for all kinds of things, and in this case, you can use it for this one, for creating like atmosphere in scenes like this. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Mm, thanks for the questions, and I'll see you in new videos, right, or new streams or whatever. So yeah.